y'all, welcome to Simple Man's Barbecue. Today, my name is Jason, by the way, if y'all don't know by now. Today I'm doing a brisket. Yes, brisket. It's a choice grade brisket that I got from my local Walmart. I've already got it all trimmed up. If you can get a shot of the brisket here. I got it all trimmed up. As you can see, I butchered it real good. I'm no professional at trimming, so don't do as I do, just do as I say, okay? Make sure when you trim yours, if you don't know yet, just mainly trim off all the hard fat, because the hard fat, it won't render. The soft fat, that will render pretty well, but you don't want too much of it on there, because if you have too much of it on there, then you're gonna have a whole lot left over after the cook's over. So make sure your fat is about a quarter of an inch all the way around. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've actually got quite a bit of hard fat left in there that it's kind of hard to get out, just like this. I'm going to have to cook this first, and then when I cook it, I'll separate the point from the flat, and then I will carve off the rest of that hard fat in there. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start with the season. As y'all know, I love my mango habanero rub. It goes great with everything. I'm going to start with that.
Is that the one that takes your breath away?
No, not this one. This one's very good. That's the jalapeno rub. You would think this habanero rub would be worse, but no, this don't do that to you. Now, since this is a brisket, this is a huge piece of meat, so you really, it's almost impossible to over season these things. So you just season the hell out of this thing. It'll pay off for you in the end. And if you could see right here, when y'all buy a brisket, see this flat right here? How thick that is? That's what you want. You don't want these little thin little flats like that, man, because it's just going to wither away, be burnt, and you're going to have to cut it off anyways. This right here, that's what you want.
Make it shake like a booty.
Oh, yeah. Okay. By the way, I got my sister filming for me again today. Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
Then I'm going to add my seasoned salt mixed with pepper. Last time I did the ribs, it went wonderful, so I imagine it'll go great with the brisket too. My beef ribs I did. Remember, it's almost impossible to over-season these briskets because it's so much meat on here. So I'm just going to be very liberal. Oh yeah, and you want to get down here too, man. You want to get as much bark on here as you can. Let me hit that with the jalapeno rub too. Then just kind of pat that in. Whatever you do, don't rub like this. Because if you rub like that, you're going to get blotched and uneven seasoning. You don't want that. Just pat it in is all you need to do. You just got to keep it simple, baby. And I'm going to flip her over. Come on now. I know, right? Do the other side just as well. Be very liberal. I don't know if I've ever tried this, but if y'all next time y'all go to y'all's local grocery store, I'm sure they have Fiesta seasonings. Get this mango habanero. It's wonderful. As y'all can see, I'm just getting all the sides, not being stingy with it. It's not too difficult at all. Alright, y'all. So I got it all seasoned up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my kettle started, throw it on there. I'll show y'all a few Spritz, and then we'll come back in, slice it up, see how it tastes. We'll see y'all then. Alright, y'all. Here we are at the grill. I want y'all to look at this setup I've got going on. I'm going to use my barbecue dragon grill stone today for my brisket. I pretty much use it for my briskets and my ribs I do. But as y'all can see, I got two Weber charcoal baskets. I don't really like to use these actually too much just because they're so little. They only hold so many charcoal. You got to keep coming back here adding charcoal, which makes your smoke kind of dirty every time you do it. So what I like to do is I like to use these as like a barrier, and then I got to see like this little funky setup I got here, and it kind of holds in the charcoal, kind of like a big giant charcoal basket. And the reason why I do this is because if when charcoal is contained in a basket type thing, it burns a lot smoother, it burns a lot better, it burns longer. When you have it all loose just around, when you bank it on the side of your Weber, it doesn't burn as smooth, it doesn't burn as long. So that's the reason why I like to contain my charcoal in a basket. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get the barbecue dragon grill stone in. Let me move this out of the way because that's probably going to block it. Hold on one second right there. As you can see, I got my barbecue dragon grill stone. It's nice and black because I've used it a few hundred times. Gonna place it in there just like that.
You got it. Pull it up.
Put my grill in there. What's up, baby? Put my grate in there. Do my usual, my oil paper towel. Place it down in there. Light up now, come on. There we go. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna, like usual, I'm gonna let that start up about 15-20 minutes, let it get good and hot. Let it get up to temp, and then I'm gonna bring my brisket out, and y'all see me spritz it a few times, and then I'm probably gonna end up wrapping it. What I usually like to do is I like to smoke it to about 150 to 160, then I like to wrap it, and I'll just finish it off in the oven probably, because there's no sense in wasting my coal if I'm just gonna wrap it and wasting my wood. So I'll put it in the oven around 160, and then at the end we'll cut it up, slice it up, take a bite, and see how it tastes. We'll see how a little bit. All right, y'all, so here we are. I'm about to go ahead and get my brisket on the grill here. I'm on the smoker. As you can see, I got a little bit of that thick white smoke going on right now, but that'll clear up here in just a few minutes. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do mine fat cap down. That's just how I usually like to do mine. And on the Weber, it doesn't really matter, okay? It doesn't matter whether you do fat cap up or down. It's gonna turn out good either way. I just like to do fat cap down. Let me get my probe in here. I'll do it right about here. Okay. And I'm cooking with a mixture of maple and hickory wood chunks. And I'm gonna try to keep this around 225 to 250 as usual, especially for a brisket. And the reason why I'm gonna wrap my brisket is because I've kind of noticed that with my experience with choice grade briskets, they don't usually do very well on a full unwrapped cook, at least from my experience. But either way, it's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna wrap it like I said, and then we'll cut into it and see how it tastes. We'll see a little bit later. All right, y'all. So the brisket's been on for 3 hours now. My temperature in the Weber is 221. That's a little bit lower than I wanted it, but to be honest with y'all, 221 don't bother me. I've actually cooked briskets as low as 200 degrees, and it takes a little bit longer, but I think it's a little bit more worth it in the end. So here's what it's looking like right now. I'm gonna give it a quick spritz. Just be real liberal with it, because smoke loves moisture. It's gonna cling to that moisture. And it'll keep your bark from getting too dried out too. Okay, that should be good. And I don't know if y'all seen or not, but oh, hold on, I lost signal. Got to get my signal back on my thermometer. But my internal temperature right now is about 129, so I still got a while to go. All right, I'll show you a couple more Spritz, and then we'll go ahead and cut into it. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all. Brisket's been on for about 5.5 hours now. That's what it's looking like. I'm gonna give it another Spritz. That color's looking real good. That's what you're looking for right there. Just spray the hell out of this thing. Keep your bark from drying out. I'm probably going to let this go for a couple more hours. Then I'm probably going to wrap it up and throw it in the oven to finish off. All right, I'll see y'all a little bit later. All right, y'all, we are now at 7 hours. Let's take a look. Oh, yes, she's getting real dark. I'm going to give her one more Spritz. And I think I'm going to go ahead and let her go for one more hour. And then for sure, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off, wrap it up and finish it off in the oven. This is just looking really good right now. And I just want to get a little bit more color on it, just to get exactly where I want it. That bark's nice and set. See, if you can do that, if you can kind of do that, and you don't got much seasoning on your, I don't know if you can tell there, but there you go. Just a little bit. Yeah, that bark's set nice and good. So one more hour should do for me. And then we'll go ahead and finish it off. And then we'll go ahead and cut into it. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, y'all. Welcome back to Simple Man's Barbecue. Looks like I ran into a problem last night. Well, I made a mistake. I fell asleep. I put my brisket in the oven, fell asleep, woke up, and when I did, my brisket was like 210 internal temperature, and I never done that before with a choice brisket, and it doesn't, like, the feel of it, it feels pretty dried out. As you can see, I separated the flat from the point. This is the flat right here. It just feels really hard and dry, and I think this is probably going to end up being a big brisket fail on my part. Now this is reality, folks. This happens sometimes, man. So cooking brisket ain't easy. So I'm gonna just start slicing it right here. Yeah, that feels pretty dry. If y'all can see that, there's a nice little smoke ring there, but there's not really much juice coming out, man. Let me make a couple more slices here. Yeah, I can tell that it's just a little too dried out. I mean, don't get me wrong. Me and my wife are still going to eat this. It's not going to get thrown away by any means. But this was definitely going to be chalked up as a fail. Because it's just way too dry. Well, there's a nice little bend to it. That's what you want to see when you're cooking a brisket, is if it'll have passed the bend test. And there you go. See how it bends over my finger? That's what you want to see. Nice little smoke ring right there. See if it pulls apart pretty good. Yeah. It's just a little dry. It's not as dry as I thought it would be, because I see a little bit of moisture in there. But I like it to be a little bit more moisture than that. So let me cut off another little piece here. Yeah, it's just a little too dry. It's not the worst. It's still very edible. It's still going to be very delicious. It's just, you know, if this was competition, this would definitely be a fail. But for backyard barbecue, that's not that bad, really, man. But I do like mine a lot more juicier than that, and that's my fault for falling asleep. But as I said before, that there's a little bit of fat right here that I couldn't get when I was trimming. So I'm going to slice that off. That's okay. That should be good right there then. So then I'm going to go ahead and cut into this point right here. And with a point, the muscles run different. They run this way. So you got to cut against the grain. So I'm going to cut like this. And with a point, you want your slices to be a little bit thicker because the meat's going to be a lot more tender, a lot fattier. Well, the point sure isn't dried out. It's nice and thick. I mean, nice and juicy, as you can tell. Y'all see those juices flowing out of there? The point's still good, that's for sure. It's just the flat's a little bit drier than I like it to be. But you know, this is reality, folks. It happens sometimes, man. So if I can do it, I mean, if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. But you know, you learn from your mistakes, man. This is actually my first time falling asleep during a brisket cook, and well, you know, I paid the consequences for it. But well, see, a little bit of smoke ring right there. I like it a little bit better, but that's all right. Well, folks, there you have it. You know, I'll chalk it up as a fail on my part. But you know what? You live and you learn. Next time, hopefully I can do better. But I have done better. I promise you I have. Just that one doesn't show it for me. But I appreciate y'all watching today. If y'all have any comments about this video or anything you want to ask me, please don't be shy. Hit me up, man. If y'all do me a favor, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. Once again, I appreciate y'all watching today, and y'all have yourself a blessed day. All right.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Yes, happy Mother's Day. God bless all you mothers out there.